The new German government said that it will no longer publicly discuss whether it is to deliver Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine. The German-Swedish long-range missiles had been the focal point of controversy among critics who believed that the previous Chancellor Olaf Scholz was not doing enough to support Ukraine against Russia's war of aggression. They included Scholz's successor, Friedrich Merz, then Germany's opposition leader. But shortly after entering office, Merz's government decided to return to secrecy on the delivery of specific weapon systems, including Taurus, and went on to downplay their effect. The government was to keep a low profile on Taurus, said a spokesperson for the Defense Ministry, led by Merz's coalition partner, the Social Democrats. He added that the delivery of the cruise missiles had been completely overrated in terms of their effect in the public debate. Germany would continue to support Ukraine with weapons, including long-range weapons, but would not specify which weapon systems would be delivered or at what point, the spokesperson said. Retired NATO official Jamie Scheer says that Merz may be more willing to provide Ukraine with Taurus long-range cruise missiles. According to him, Taurus missiles will smash Putin's stagnant offensive. He said that Ukraine can strike deep into Russia with Taurus cruise missiles. Serhiy Sumleny, director of the European Resilience Initiative Center, believes that Germany will transfer Taurus missiles to Ukraine in the coming months while simultaneously training Ukrainian crews. All the weapons stored in the Bundeswehr's warehouses are absolutely worthless, because it's clear that the German government lacks the political will to use them against the aggressor state. And if there were an attack on Germany, with Russian troops already entering German territory, say, near the Oder River, that would mean the occupiers had already passed through Ukraine and Poland. At that point, the weapons would no longer be needed because it's obvious Germany would not be able to stop such an invasion. In my view, the best use for German weapons is to transfer them to Ukraine, which would help preserve Germany's own integrity. If I'm not mistaken, there are currently around 500 to 600 Taurus missiles in German storage, noted Serhiy Sumleny. According to him, the issue is that no new Taurus missiles have been produced in recent years due to the lack of government orders for manufacturers. And by law, German arms producers are prohibited from manufacturing weapons without a state order. Even producing weapons for storage is a criminal offense. Claims like, "we need these weapons ourselves," are false. If the Taurus missiles are truly needed, then the government should be placing orders with manufacturers. Accordingly, the older missiles could be transferred to Ukraine, while newly produced ones would remain in Germany.
European leaders have agreed with U.S. President Donald Trump that Russia's position in ceasefire talks is unacceptable and they intend to coordinate a response, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer said on Friday. "We just had a meeting with President Zelensky and then a phone call with President Trump to discuss the developments in the negotiations today, and the Russian position is clearly unacceptable," Starmer told reporters. As a result of that meeting with President Zelensky, under discussion with President Trump, "We are now closely aligning and coordinating our responses and will continue to do so," he said, as European leaders held a summit in Albania. According to Associated Press, he said the decision with Trump was also agreed on with the leaders of France, Germany, and Poland. Macron confirmed, "There will be new talks among us in the coming hours."
Il faut sans doute aller chercher le...
Oui.
And send the letter. So we have two questions. They spoke around 100 questions. We have two questions. The first question is as far as the second question. Yeah, it's all about the first.
So we just had a meeting with President Zelensky and then a phone call with President Trump to discuss the developments in the negotiations today. And the Russian position is clearly unacceptable and not for the first time. And so as a result of that meeting with President Zelensky and the discussion with President Trump, we are now closely aligning and coordinating our responses and will continue to do so.
Alors, un mot pour la presse française pour dire, comme vient de le rappeler Monsieur le Premier ministre, que tous ensemble, comme il y a quelques jours à Kiev, nous avons, avec le président Zelenski, fait retour des rendez-vous qui s'étaient tenus à Istanbul, où la délégation russe a décidé d'exclure la délégation américaine. Nous avons ensemble, à l'instant, eu une discussion avec le président Trump pour d'abord tous considérer qu'il était inacceptable pour une deuxième fois que la Russie, le président Poutine, ne réponde pas aux demandes qui ont été faites par les Américains, soutenus par l'Ukraine et les Européens. Pas de cessez-le-feu et pas de rendez-vous à un niveau décisionnel et pas de réponse sur le cessez-le-feu. Et donc dans ce contexte, nous allons continuer de nous coordonner avec nos partenaires européens, la coalition des volontaires et les États-Unis. Il y aura dans les prochaines heures des nouveaux contacts et des retours et nous apporterons les réponses requises. Nous continuons de nous battre pour la paix et nous continuons d'être aux côtés du président Zelenski et de nous coordonner très étroitement avec les États-Unis d'Amérique.